So here we are, Math 7, last lesson of Unit 7, 7-9, 777. So we're going to look at semicircles today. So as you might have already figured out or deduced from looking at the picture, a semicircle is just half, right? Half being 1/2, that fraction 1/2 or 0.5, half of a circle. Right, so it's like we have the entire circle, we're taking that and cutting it in half, leaving us with just that semicircle. Would also be the same if you were looking at it backwards too. You know, we could look at the bottom half, that's still a semicircle instead of the top half. So that area formula, we're still going to be using the area formula for a circle. So area is still going to be equal to that pi r squared. The only difference is that we have half of a circle. This is half of a regular circle. So we need to take half of that area. So 0.5 pi r squared, or area equals pi r squared divided by 2, right? Dividing by 2 is the same thing as multiplying by that 1/2, by that 0.5. And circumference is a little tricky. We are still going to be using our circumference formula of C equals pi times D. And we are going to need to divide that by 2 because, again, we're dealing with a semicircle. But now something sketchy happens here. So talking about that circumference, remember that circumference is that outside area, or not outside area, that outside length. So if I think about it, circumference is that outside length. If I were to circle this, it's this yellow highlight area. That's what pi times diameter gets me, is that circumference, that outside area. If I divide that in half, if I take that out and cut that in half, I'm left with, right, this is the whole thing, dividing that in half would take out half of that highlight. Now notice here how I don't have the entire outsides of this shape highlighted. I have this curved section highlighted, but I'm missing this purple section here. What did you notice about the length of that perfect? What do you notice about the length of that purple section? What does that purple section represent there? That purplish pink highlight represents a radius plus a radius, which is a diameter. So it's not enough to just take your circumference formula and divide it by 2. You have to go back and add in that extra diameter. Now, some of you might realize that if I'm taking the diameter and I'm dividing it by 2, that just leaves me with the radius. So yeah, actually, you could use the formula circumference equals pi times radius plus diameter. Either way, just make a note for yourself so you know to don't forget to add the diameter in. Only when you're doing circumference. You don't need to do that with area because area finds that inside area, that inside space, right? All of this. And if I cut that in half, I'm still left with what I need. I'm not missing anything. So again, make sure you're looking up your formulas. I can't help you any more than giving you these formulas and making sure that you have them written down correctly. All you need to do is look them up and write them down.